Alright, teaming up here. Got an Aqua Force deck profile that you saw in that match video. That's speaking too, though. So, your starter, you got Blue Storm Cadet Anos. He's pretty much the only Blue Storm starter for Legion era because Marios doesn't only fetches Maelstroms. For triggers, you play full Rainbow because Tetra Burst gains criticals, so you don't really need to max out criticals, and Sands has a lot of synergy with this deck. You need to draw triggers, and heals are mandatory. So
it all mushes pretty well.
Yep. Grade ones, 4 Sentinels. I play 3 Perfect Guards, 1 Quintet Wall in this deck. You don't use a lot of Counterblast on Aqua Force. Outside Tetra Burst, and he's pretty much it, other than your 1 Anos Counterblast. So you're not really losing a lot resource-wise by using this, and it allows you to, tank early.
If you're playing a deck and you don't use a lot of counterblast, just 1 Quintet Wall really.
Yeah, and it also helps fix bad hands because you can thin your deck. Or potentially fix bad hands, I guess. 4 10k attackers for the Blue Storms. Aqua Force is all about the early game rush, so being able to throw this guy out, and if you switch columns, he's still 10k, so you can smack rear guards. He's a good turn 1 ride. Pretty good card for Aqua Force. 3 Tempest Warder? Yeah, Tempest Warder. He's essentially Wheel Assault for Legion. So you can, if you don't draw into your other swapper, this guy lets you switch columns to enable your 4th attack to get your skills off. You don't really want to see him too much though, because you want Starless, so I cut him down to 3 from 4.
Back, Josh.
Okay. And then I have 2 Tempest, what's her name? Tempest Blader, there we go.
Doesn't even know his own card.
I never use this thing. This thing always gets guarded. I use this to guard.
Why do you run it?
Because it pumps by 3k. It was a lot better when you had to pump up your 10k hitter to hit cross rides, but that's not really a thing anymore. There's like 1 cross ride deck that still gets played. I don't know, it used to help hit numbers. I couldn't really find anything else to fill this with because I didn't like the Ice Storm Princess, or whatever her name, Blue Storm Ice Princess. It calls from the hand. And moving on to grade 2s, you have 4 Starless. He's your mate for Tetra Burst. He's essentially a 12k Basil with your Vanguards and Legion. So 12, switch. It's simple Aqua Force stuff, that's how the deck runs. Then you have Blue Storm 12k hitters. Once again, this is a rush deck. You want to get out as many cards as possible that can hit, and he can hit 11k Vanguards by himself. He's just an all-around good card. He's great for swapping, so you have 12-12, so 2 attacks that have to be guarded. And then lastly, 4 Ionis, whatever, who cares. If his 3rd attack, hit, draw a card, great pressure unit. He's a mate for your other Legion that you never play, unless you can't get Tetra Burst. But he's pretty great in the rear guard, and yeah, there's not really better options, really, because he's your best switcher. You can put Tidal Assault instead, but you need to play the mate for your other Legion.
Alright.
And then for your grade 3s, you have 4 Zacharias. He's the one you hardly ever use.
He's the bad one.
He's not bad.
He's just not good.
I mean, he stands up 2 rear guards and pumps him by 5, but you have to drive check him in the mate.
What is this, no grapplers?
And, well, it's a good effect, but it hardly ever goes off, and I'd rather just be swinging for constant pressure with Tetra Burst.
Yeah.
And while Tetra Burst isn't a very good card, it sucks up a lot of guard, so the longer the game goes, the better Tetra Burst is. Yeah. And this guy just kind of... He's there because you need to play 8 grade 3s.
So, what's your other grade 3 here?
I play 4 Draconic Overlords.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sweet Draconic Overlord art.
It's Tetra Burst Dragon. He's got a sweet tie. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, that's classy.
Yeah. I don't know. He's alright. Counterblast 1. It's a 4th attack, plus 5 in a crit. Crit bosses are kind of subpar, but he's not. He's like the only Aqua Force Legion that's any good.
It's a pretty basic Aqua Force effect.
And it kind of synergizes with the Aqua Force theme of you poke away with your rear guards to get the cards out of their hand, and then you swing in so you can get this crit through clean, ideally.
Alright, so would you say this is one of your favorite builds of Aqua Force?
No, my favorite build of Aqua Force is Maelstrom Reverse with the Limit Breaker Mover, because you don't play break cards in that deck, so it doesn't really slow it down at all. The deck is pretty fast if you get the Limit Breaker Mover on board. Unfortunately, with Aqua Force, there's not really a way to tutor out cards, which is the only problem I have with this clan. But I like the way it plays, and yeah, I guess that's...
You like how aggressive it is?
I love how aggressive this deck is. commit to the field, and then if you lose, oh well. If you win, great. Extra deck, or G-Zone, whatever, 4 Messiahs, because there's nothing else.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the end of our video. Could we get a sweet thumbs up from Team Enough?